Well, I made a mistake and I had, somehow had a filter on my microphone or something, so it was really sketchy. So I'm going to do a redub of my turn. I had 66 to spend. I spent 6 on tech, and I'm buying 2 transports, 6 infantry, and 2 transports and a bomber there. Oh, 2 tanks also. Sorry, I zipped through that real quick. And an artillery, I believe. Yep, and an artillery. So I got the battle that's going on in P50 already up on the battle board there. So I've got the 5 anti-air also designated. My other battles, I'm also going to push all my guys that are in Burma into India, into Calcutta. So that's going to be 8 infantry, 3 artillery, and 1 tank. Let me get those all pushed over. And then I'm also going to bring in those 2 mechanized here in just a second. Not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, yeah, just doing some numbers. Okay, so those 2 mechs are coming in, and then I'm also going to use that air transport 1, 2, and I'm going to drop off the 2 infantry from Yunnan. In this case, I want to get that infantry count up to 16, so I'm going to have to use my transports to grab a few more and bring them over. So I have 3 in Thailand. I'm going to grab 2 of them and use one of those transports that are in P49 and drop them off. Easy peasy. And then, so that gets me up to 9, 10, 11, 12. Somehow I got to find 4 more. Well, they're there. So I'm going to grab transport from P39 and go down to P48, pick up 1 and 1 from Thailand, from Indochina, and drop those guys in there. That should get me up to 14. And let's see, what else am I going to do? Yep. We need a good Bushido square to make that work. All right. Well, I have this transport right here. He can do some work. What do I want to do with him? Probably going to have to grab those other 2 infantry and bring them over, so we'll do that. Yeah, I can't use the guy from P30, so he's our last hope. Actually, we'll grab the guys from, Hong Kong. We'll move them over. We'll go 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! And we put 3 transports into P50. Looks good. Looks good. All right, and we have plans for some of these other guys here in just a second. Now, let's look up north. What are we going to do in China, buddy? Oh, I'm still considering whether I want to take Java. Those guys can wait. They're not going anywhere. Yeah, plus you can strike me with those ships if I did put anything there. So we'll just stay out of there for right now. And we will take 1 transport, pick up infantry from French Indo, and drop them off in Sumatra and make that Japanese. All right, good deal. Well, I don't know. I'm having second thoughts, apparently. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. All right, here we are. China. Szechuan, that's got to be taken back. Oh, look at that. I even have I already changed it to Japanese for some reason. We'll put 1 guy in there so far. I know we're going to put 2 in there. All right. I'm going to grab 2 fighters from mainland Japan. Since we have ATC, they will reach and have 1 left over. We got to find 1 more guy to get in there. We're going to come back to it. Okay, we're looking at this destroyer out there, and we don't like him at all. We're going to send 2 tacticals out to do a tactical strike on it. Just wipe it off the map. We don't want to deal with it. And what could go wrong? That's foreshadowing. Okay, and what else am I looking at? Okay, well let's finish what we're doing in session one. Okay, I think I did put 2 infantry in there. So I got 2 infantry, 2 fighters in session one, and really there's no other attack that's going to happen. So hopefully I go up and start rolling dice. I'm just wasting time, thinking, eating, thinking. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go, the meat of it right here. Believe it or not, when I roll these dice, I'm closing my eyes because I just don't want to see it. I open my eyes, and thank God, no hits. Finally, no hits. I haven't been, and this is looking really good. So I have sub destroyer. I have 5 fighters, and I have 4 tacticals and 1 battleship. So I've got 12 dice there, looking good. 1 for the transports, 2 for the destroyer and carrier, 1 for the cruiser, 1 cruiser paired, 1 battleship, and then 2 fighters. All right, I'm going to roll that sub just because protocol. And he misses anyway. I roll everything else. And I definitely could have done better here, but I just rolled 6 hits. And then you rolled 4. I've already made up my mind. I'm going to lose some my ships first, but you, according to your directions, are going to lose a carrier, then 1 battleship. Then I think we go cruiser. And so we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. All right, that's right. All right, on my end, I lose 4, so I'm going to lose my entire navy. So all I have left are planes. What a tragedy. But hey, I got a cruiser and a aircraft carrier that didn't even join the battle. So there we go. That looks right. And then I got to get rid of my battleship. There we go. All right, so should have 9 dice left over. 5 fighters, 4 tacticals. Okay, 4. That's exactly what I needed. And then you get 2 back at me. All right, that's reasonable. That's about right. You lose 1 transport, and since you only have 1 left, it dies. And splash 1 fighter, 1 tactical. Goodbye, guys. Did well. You did your job. All right. Leaves me with 4 fighters and 3 tacticals. I'm just going to group those together and throw them down into the sea, and we'll land them here in a second. If I recall, they're in P-52, so they have 2 movements left over because of ATC. They can land in Iraq as well as other places. All right, so my little China battle, I've got 2 fighters and I've got 1 infantry against 2 infantry versus your 1 infantry. Get rid of all those dice and quick roll. And boom goes the dynamite. And miss. All right, Szechuan is back in Chinese control. Sorry, I had that already marked because I had anticipated it. Those guys have 1 space left to move, and then now we can come down here and pick off that lone destroyer. He has no chance in hell against 2 veteran tactical bombers. So we roll those veteran tactical bombers, and nothing. Destroyer. That's some bullshito right there. All right. Seeing as how that destroyer is somehow miraculous and divine, we are going to fly away after losing 1 tactical. Lick our wounds, and we're off. That guy's going to fly down to the Carolina Islands here in a second. Okay, that really sums up the battles, so I can start getting into my non-combat. Um, all right, everything in Shenxi is moving up to Kansu because from Kansu we can hit every Chinese that you have. And then we will also take that bomber from Johol and drop off to infantry because we don't want to be too outnumbered. Those two fighters that went to Szechuan are going to land in Kansu also. That bomber is going to go back to Johol, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. I moved the fighter from Manchuria into Kansu. That, yeah, there he goes. He's going, go, do it. There you go. Back to Johol. And we're going to move 2 infantry from Manchuria down to meet that plane. Now we also have some more developments. We've got our... we're going to move 2 guys from Japan to Hokkaido just to block off your Kuril Island dude. One attack fighter to Kansu from mainland and another fighter. So now we're 4 fighters. We're going to look down south. We're going to take a cruiser is going, well, trying to decide what I'm going to send down to the Carolina Islands. So I send a destroyer, I send a battleship, and a carrier, all from P-22. That tactical will land on the carrier. Then we're going to send that sub also in P-22, I think is going to go join the Carolina Islands. Yeah, yep. We're going to send a fighter. Right now we're putting it on the aircraft carrier, but it's actually going to go on the island so it can use its ATC later. All right, going down south. What are we going to do with all of these ships? We're going to take 1 transport from the Bay of Bengal. Oh, you get back there. I'm sorry, 1 from P-48, take an infantry and take Sumatra. There we go. Japan as it should be and always was. Now I have infantry, artillery, and French Indochina. If I'm smart, I'm going to grab a transport from the Bay of Bengal. And I'm thinking, because I'm doing this live. He doesn't want to go there. No, you don't want to do that. Take that back. Good. All right, there we go. We're grabbing transport from the Bay of Bengal. We are going to go to P-48. Come on, do it. P-48. Pick up 2 units and drop them off into Burma. There we go. I'm putting him up there just so show he moves. Okay, that aircraft carrier and cruiser from P-49 is going to go to P-50 and catch 2 fighters. Then that aircraft carrier in P-30 is going to go 1, 2, 3 to P-49 and pick up a fighter and a tactical. Where am I going to find a fighter and a tactical? Okay, why is this taking me so long? Yeah. I should have really had figured out exactly what I was going to do. This carrier down here was a last minute decision. So I was just trying it on for size. So yeah, fighter tactical onto that carrier, and then 2 tacticals and a fighter will land in Iraq with our German buddies. I mean, is that cooperation or what? That's amazing. I've never seen such cooperation. All right, So the transport that hadn't moved in the Bay of Bengal is going to move all the way to P39. And then the one in P30, really don't have a mission for him. So I think we're going to move him up one here in a second to P22. And then we're getting close here. Yeah, he's got to go to P22. No. Oh, yeah, he's going to pick up 2 infantry and move them into Manchuria. In a second, I'm going to change that to 2 infantry and anti-air. Okay, cruiser goes up to P14. Destroyer in P30 is going to go to the Caroline Islands. Looking pretty good in Kansu. We're just kind of figuring out our numbers. We got 8 infantry against your 8 infantry. We got 3 artillery and 4 fighters and a tactical up there. That's looking pretty strong. Our southern flank here, I mean, everybody's moved. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. We're happy. We're getting overtime pay. So yeah, that looks good. Up in Japan, so I've got 3 fighters and 2 tacticals. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Do I want to move anybody over to Manchuria maybe? I really didn't need to do this, but I'm going to put a fighter in Manchuria and leave 2 and 2 on Japan itself. That transport bomber that I used from Yunnan is going to go all the way back up to Hopei. We're going to look at what we got here. Okay, so my buys were the 2 tanks, an artillery, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry. So I got an infantry, an artillery in French Indochina, plus another infantry. Hopei, I'm definitely going to put 2 infantry up there, and a tank. That way I have some infantry for my bomber, and that tank can just do anything he pleases. Our tank and 2 infantry will go to, you guessed it, Manchuria. And then I'm going to stare at that for 2 seconds. Wait, if I put here's where I made the change. Okay, so instead of bringing over 2 infantry from Japan, I brought over an anti-air. So I swapped that. That's what I did. I just swapped that out real quick here. And then these guys only have one place to go, and that's to put the bomber on mainland Japan and 2 transports for good measure. I was trying to decide here if there was anywhere else I should put that transport instead, but it just makes sense to go ahead and put them in Tokyo Harbor. If I can't use them now, I'll use them later. Two in Hokkaido. Now I'm looking at my position here. I was worried about that destroyer, but actually, if that destroyer comes up and attacks that transport, I can defend with all my air force. I can scramble my air force, and it would just get destroyed. So I went ahead and put that transport in P13. So if I wanted to, I could grab the guys out of Hokkaido and move them somewhere. Yeah, yes, you can reach with your destroyer. Doesn't matter. We don't care. All right. With that, I suppose you could, if you wanted to, bring your. Would not give you any ideas. All right, I'm just organizing a little bit here. In Manchuria, I have. Let's see, how many do I have? I got a lot. Just organizing real quick. Okay, 2 infantry in Johol plus the bomber. Down in Kansu, I have 8 infantry, 3 artillery, 4 fighters and a tactical. In Hope I have 2 infantry, a tank, and um, a strategic bomber. Let's see. Yeah, let's just go down. In French Indo, I have 2 infantry and an artillery. Burma, I have infantry artillery. I have 16 infantry in India, 2 mechs, tank, 3 artillery, and then I have 3 transports. Oh, let me grab these guys. I have 2 tacticals and a fighter in Iraq. In P50, I have 3 transports, a carrier with 2 fighters, and a cruiser. And then P49, I have a carrier with a tactical and a fighter and a transport. And then I have infantry artillery in Burma. I don't know if I said that. Infantry in Sumatra with a transport off of P52. And that sub that was off of Java is actually going to move up to P50 because, yay, it's better there. All right, and then that I have a transport in P39. Caroline Islands. On the island, I have an infantry anti-air. I have 2 destroyers, a battleship carrier, fire tactical combo, and a sub. And then P22, I have a transport. And Japan, I have a cruiser, destroyer, transport, a transport up in P13. On Japan itself, I have 4 infantry, a bomber, 2 tanks, and 2 fighters, and 2 anti-air. Hokkaido, of course, I have those 2 infantry. And that's looking pretty good. I have no transports that can threaten me anywhere. I just have 1 American destroyer in the whole Pacific. And here's where I decide that airplane on the carrier needs to go on the Carolines because I have ATC and it's going to be a lot more useful, on the island than on the actual carrier. And I think everybody's job is done here. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I'm going to try to figure out my income here. I took not Java. I took Sumatra, so that gives me another money island. So that gives me 12 for those. What else do I got? I'm thinking. I got Calcutta. Yeah, there's another 10. Awesome. And then I go over here and look at this. That looks a little light, so I'm going to go look at the map. And yeah, I forgot to change India over to Japan. There we go. Japan. All right. And otherwise, I think I got everything swapped over. So if I go down and look down, I was hoping I'd roll it over, but I'm only at, what do we got? 65, and then 65, 75 plus 12 is 87. And so, let's see. And then I'm going to look down, and you know what? I forgot. Calcutta itself is worth another 5. So, wow, I'm up to 92 for my income. That's huge. Okay, Japan's getting rich. We will accept an economic victory whenever you want to give it. All right, looking at the map, I think that's really all I've got to do. This is pretty good, you know. I'm glad my German allies took Iraq so I can do that attack in P50 with full force and get away with it. Calcutta, I got my 16 infantry. That was my goal. So I think if you attacked it, you're a huge underdog. And I probably should end it here any second. Yeah, I wish I had a little more infantry and to spread out with, but that's okay. We got 92 to spend next turn, so we'll make an impact then. All right, guys. Thanks.